Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2017 Loko Cup Selection Show. I've done about 2 or 3 takes here and tried to act like Greg Gumbel, but it ain't happening. So I'm going to dive into these selections for this much anticipated event. There's going to be plenty of outtakes. I'm not going to edit it out. I'm going to get into this. The meat and potatoes are who's playing who and how these matchups are going to transpire. Everyone's fired up about this. This event's about ready to kick off. So the first match is at 7:30 on the front of the Yankee Trace Golf Club. Will be Brown and Homan. Solid team. I think they were the only team that won last year in the alternate shot for Team Hutter, and they will be playing Collins and Derek. Ooh, that's an intriguing matchup. Early in the morning, first tee time, plenty of jitters going on. Collins is coming off a huge eagle birdie finish last year. Derek's taking a little bit of time off in the Loko, but I know he's super fired up. Derek, I witnessed it firsthand, has proven unbelievably clutch in the playoffs for the regular season championship. He made a birdie on hole number 8 that was unbelievable to pretty much clinch a spot for him and Hutter. He's been known before to be like a volcano and blowing up in certain situations, but throughout those playoffs and the end of last season, he was super calm and collected and just clutch. And it'd be interesting to see how he and Collins can handle Brown and Homan. The next match for Team Martin will be Darren and Keith. Darren's a newcomer. Boy, this guy has got quite a history with the Loko Cup. Even though he's never been in it, he has prepared probably better than anyone else. He's been at TPC Sawgrass. He is ready to go. He's been trying to get in this event for a long time. You know he's going to be fired up for this event. And Keith, we all know who Keith is. Keith is the ultimate clutch Loko performer, whether it be the regular season or the Cup. Keith is smooth, and he'll be well prepared and ready to go. And they're going to be playing Hutter and Metro. Interesting matchup here. Metro's taking some time off. Hutter's got about a 500 record in the Loko Cup. He hasn't played about as little as he has this entire career at the Loko Cup this season, so we'll see how he's been battling the injuries. Metro's been up and down. He's coming off a pretty good round at where did he play? This is the first edit. I'm not going to edit this out. Oh, I think it was Community. I think he had about a 40 out there, which is pretty solid for a C player. Next matchup will be Linville and Schmidt. Whoa, and I know there's a lot of eyebrows going up on this matchup. This is an impressive yet volatile team. Who knows what's going to happen with these guys? I know this is a shock to a lot of people. These guys are both capable of shooting really, really low, but they're both capable of shooting really, really high. Nobody knows what's going to happen with these guys. This will be a highly anticipated match to watch. And they will be playing Zimmer and McNamee. Zimmer, in my opinion, pretty much got the momentum on Team Martin's side last year when he made about a 25-30 foot birdie putt on hole number 9 with everyone watching. It was an amazing birdie, and they got the thing rolling from there, and they never looked back after that, and they took the cup easily. McNamee has proven super clutch. A few years ago, he made about a 5-footer with 15 guys watching, very smooth to tie the cup. Interesting matchup. And the last matchup will be Justin and Poe. No surprise there. I mean, these guys, all they do is win. Justin's got a career record of about 8-1. 8-1 in the Loko. Poe label is 6-2 and 1. I mean, these guys, all they do is win. It's going to be a tough battle. Doesn't matter who they're playing, and they're going to go against Champ and Chops. That's going to be a tough matchup for Champ and Chops. Champ has shown that he can birdie any hole out on this course. Chops has shown that he can do the same thing. He had an unbelievable hybrid on hole number 9 in the Vintage from about 230 yards, and he stuck it to about 10 feet. He also did some unbelievable stuff in alternate shot, especially on hole number 10 last year. He is certainly capable. This team, if they can get hot early on and put pressure on Justin and Poe, there might be some pressure on these guys because they are certainly the favorites. So interesting matchups the first beginning of the scramble. Now, moving on to the alternate shot. This will transition right away, so the guys are going to need to get going pretty quick. The next match is match 5, and this will be the back, which is called the Legend. Linville and Holman will start off for Team Hutter. These two guys know each other well. I think Holman's personality and laid-back demeanor is going to carry Linville's chatty nature, but I think Linville and Schmidt are going to be pretty well settled in after they. I believe they're going to perform pretty well. So this will be interesting for these guys playing Collins and Mack. Collins and Mack, again, we've discussed both of them. This will be an interesting matchup. I would pretty much point it at a coin flip at this point. Zimmer and Keith. This is no surprise here. Keith's got some unbelievable distance that he can hit the ball as pretty much as far as anyone, and Zimmer has got a short game that is unparalleled to pretty much anyone in this tournament. But he's fighting an injury. He's got some type of forearm injury. We'll see how that goes for Zimmer. Playing Brown and Metro. Wow, this is a very interesting matchup. Brown and Zimmer are really good buddies. Zimmer and Metro are related, so this will be a really interesting matchup. I know they will be really fired up about this. And at this point, this is a group that I would eye closely, because if this group was playing at the end, I'd be willing to bet they would be by far leading the tournament in shotguns and beers consumed, because these guys surely know how to party, and they will be having a good time. This will be a great match. An alternate shot. Alternate shot, I don't think I've mentioned this. This is where everyone tees off. Take the best ball from each team and alternate in. Pretty simple. All right, next matchup, Hutter and Chops. No surprise here. These guys were solid last year. They had Justin and Braswell on the ropes last year until, some controversial things happened last year. And Justin and Derek. Wow, interesting matchup here. These guys are going to be giving Hutter and Chops a run for their money. Justin, again, with his stellar record. Hutter's out for blood against Justin. He's proven that he's on the top of the pedestal, and I think Hutter wants to knock him off. And Chops, everybody knows that he is fired up and super competitive. He will be ready to go for sure. And Derek will be uber comfortable with Justin. He's coming off tons of confidence from the Loko regular season. This will be an interesting matchup of a couple A's going head-to-head and a couple D's duking it out. Darren and Poe. These guys up there with the match 6, these guys sure know how to party. I'm sure there'll be some fun in this group, and probably a good amount of gambling going on with this team. They're I don't know what to say about them. Champ and Schmidt, very interesting. These two guys, I'm going to say that Champ and Schmidt are two huge question marks. Who knows what's going to happen with these guys? I mean, it could be lights out good, lights out bad. I mean, they're both capable of every shot in the bag, and they're also capable of every shot in the bag. So this will be a really interesting matchup. Looking forward to this. So these are the first 2 rounds, scrambled and alternate shot. Now, almost grab it. I can smell it. Oh, gosh. All right, now for the singles. Now, the singles are going to be really, really interesting this year, because unlike last year, where the cup was pretty much decided after the first 2 rounds, the singles will decide it. Now, this is going to be completely random order. This is not the order that they will be in, but these are the actual matchups. Linville and Martin, 2 heavyweights going at it. No surprise here. Linville's capable of greatness as much as anyone. I mean, I've witnessed him shoot 33, 34. He stuck the knife in my back and twisted it with about a 20-foot birdie putt on 9. I mean, he is prepared. He has fine-tuned this thing like a Rolex watch. He is ready to go. It just depends on how he's going to handle his nerves. Martin is a wily veteran. This guy has been around the block. Now, he's got a couple kids. Is that going to play into it or not? There's just the fact that he hasn't maybe dedicated as much golf as he has in the past with being the head varsity coach at Springboro and the kids and everything. Who knows? But look at his record. Now, Linville doesn't have a record. This is his first time in this Loko Cup, but Martin's 8-1. What can you say about that? I mean, that's as good as they come. They will be playing. No, they won't be playing. They are playing each other. Hutter and Zimmer. Interesting matchup. No surprise here. A couple heavyweights. These guys have been through some injuries. They haven't played as much together. They're good buddies, long-time high school friends. Zimmer's career record is 4-4-1, about 500. Hutter's is 5-4. So coin flip there. No clue who's going to win that. Champ and McNamee. Interesting matchup here. We've discussed both of them. Champ, I witnessed him birdie the toughest hole at Yankee, in my opinion, number 4. He made about an 8-footer one time, and that's a tough hole to birdie. The guy can pretty much do anything, good or bad, on the course. Who knows what's going to happen here. McNamee, we talked about how clutch he was a couple years ago in the Loko. I've seen him do some great things. He's going to be fired up. This will be an interesting match. What are these guys? Champ's 2-6-1 career Loko record. That's not good. That will be interesting to see how that pans out. Now McNamee is 3-1-2. That is news to me right now. So hope that has an impact, the result of it, seeing this. But the guys, it still matters. You got to hit the ball. It doesn't matter what your past record is. We'll see how it all plays out. Brown and Darren. Now this couple heavyweights in more ways than one. These guys are going to be ready to go. There will be plenty of gambling, plenty of drinking. This is a great matchup. We shifted a couple things around here, but I know these guys are ready to go. They will be going toe-to-toe. Again, with Darren's preparation at TPC Sawgrass, Brown, he's fine-tuned, ready to go. I anticipate this one coming down in the last hole. I anticipate this coming down to someone maybe even making an eagle on number 9 at the Vintage, because it's going to be go time for these guys. There's going to be no lack of testosterone between these two gentlemen. Schmidt versus Collins. Now, these guys were partners for the Loko League, so this is an interesting matchup as well. A lot of interesting matchups. These guys, I mean, they as a team, they did some good things together. They almost made the playoffs, or down to the final. What they make? Not even the final 4, but they kind of spiraled out of control together. So now that they're going against each other, not riding together, will one of them keep their composure while the other one spirals out of control, or will they both be clutch and bring it down to 9? I mean, we know what they're both capable of. Heck, Collins had a hole-in-one on number 5 at the Vintage, and I don't know if anyone else can say that this year. Certainly, probably not. And Schmidt's got multiple 30s in preparation for this tournament out at other courses. Who knows what's going to happen with these guys? Metro and Poe. Interesting matchup. Oh, we didn't talk about scores. Schmidt and Collins. Schmidt's career record's 1-6-2. Not something to write home about. Who knows what's going to happen this year? We talked about them. Collins' career record is 4-4-1. About 500. Who knows? It's with partners, so who knows how much of it matters. This individual thing will really determine a lot of it. Okay, Metro and Poe. Metro's 1-2. Not a lot of data on that. Poe's 6-2-1. I mean, all he does is win. I mean, what's that song? DJ Goofball. He'll be fine. We'll just see if he's able to, where he'll be at sobriety-wise at this point. But then again, Metro, I'm sure, will be going beer to beer with him. Next match, Holman and Derek. I think we've talked about them. Derek's got the potential to be a volcano avalanche in terms of his anger and throwing clubs and stuff. But again, that clutchness he had at the end of the regular season, he was so calm. Maybe he figured it out now. He finally figured it out now when the money chips are down, the money's on the line, to control his emotions, let the shots go once they're bad, and rebound like he did in the postseason last year. This guy's ready to go and fired up. Homan, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, but seeing his have about a 10-foot eagle putt on number 9, being I think he's a D. 10-foot eagle putt on 9 is impressive for anyone. Homan's capable of the long ball. He's capable of birdies and eagles. Who knows what's going to happen at this match? Chops and Keith, long time, childhood, high school buddies. This is going to be another awesome match. I mean, it could come down to these guys. Could come down to anyone. The order's not set yet. It'll be set around lunchtime, so it could come down to Linville and Martin. It could come down to Chops and Keith. I think Chops had a pretty good round, shooting the low 80s at Majestic earlier this week, and Keith struggled a little bit, but Keith has proven his clutchness. Chops is super fired up. I know Chops is one guy that's not disappointed that Braswell's not in the Loko this year. So there you have it. There are the singles. It's going to be a good tournament. Signing off.